Hello and welcome to Hypnosis in Action. My name is Stephen Anderson. I am the Outback Hypnotist and we are going Smartie trekking. Today I've got a really spectacular bloke. I've got an artist. I've got a creative coming on the show today, and here he is right about here, and I'll open up and let him in. Okay. And he's hopping in the car. You can even hear that. Have you noticed that how many of the people that are coming on this show that actually do their own live at the same time? Now, this is Mike Posadas, and I hope I got the pronunciation right.
You did.
Perfect. That's the first time, you know. Oh, I'll stop and I'll let you get your seatbelt on.
Thank you very much.
And we're going Smartie trekking. Are you ready for it? Are you
I'm
excited?
Ready. Yes.
You're excited? Cool. Okay. Oh, that is a great laugh. That is such a great laugh. So the reason for Hypnosis in Action, and I used to know the streets around this area.
Oh,
right?
really?
I used to, because
cool.
I lived pretty close to it. But now I think I'm a little bit lost. But I reckon if I
That's
go down to
okay.
the end of here and turn left, we'll
Yep.
be on our way out to Paradise Road.
Yep.
Okay. So the reason for Hypnosis in Action, the reason for Smartie trekking, actually, because Hypnosis in Action is all encompassing, the reason for Smartie trekking is I believe that we are all hypnotising ourselves every day.
Yeah.
The problem is most of us are doing it the wrong way.
Really?
And, well, I think so.
But we'll do a UE.
We'll
It's
go
fine.
down here. Okay, we're going to turn left
Yeah,
there, and
we
that'll
can
do
down
it.
here. It's fine.
Yeah, I think that most people are doing just that. They're telling themselves, and their subconscious mind is telling themselves what to do, and they're telling them to do the wrong bloody things, basically.
Yes.
So you're here today primarily because you're special in a way that's different to people I've spoken to before.
Oh. That
is, you've got a creative note about you. You are an artist.
Yes.
And actually I think, and I'm the type of person who has absolutely no idea, but I think you're bloody good at what you do.
Thanks,
and the stuff you do really resonates with me.
Yeah.
And that's the reason you're here. Because my job while doing this is to find out what it is you do that's hypnotising yourself every day that could help others out there.
Sure.
Okay, does that sound cool?
Yeah, of course, man.
Right. Now, first of all, you're an artist, you're a creative. Do you believe this is something that people can learn, or do you believe this is something that just is born in you?
It's something anyone can learn. No doubt about it.
Isn't that interesting? Why do you say that?
Because I know there's blind people that can paint better than me. There's people with disabilities who can paint better than me. I know that what I do isn't talent. I've been doing it my whole life, and with anyone who has a skill that they've acquired for a lifetime, it may look like a talent because it comes so natural, but it comes with so much practice that it looks easy and natural. I think with anything in life, there are definitely some people that are born with a certain gift, but for someone who wants to really achieve something in that particular, the same thing that they're doing, if they work harder than the person who has that talent, they're going to overtake them and do much better than them later on in life.
Okay, so let's go back through history. So are you saying the lords of the Renaissance, your Michelangelos, your Leonardo da Vinci's, became that way through practice?
Absolutely, yes. Michelangelo did thousands upon thousands of works before he was recognized and before he got really good. He knew nothing about human anatomy, so he started studying bodies and skeletal structure, and he did that over and over and over again. And he studied it so hard that he became an artist. He transitioned into that. So, it is. It's just practice. It's practice and determination. Okay. Those are the two things I think that you need if you want to be successful in anything, really.
Okay. You get a job here today. I didn't mention that. Take that. I'm looking for at least three ways that you are hypnotising yourself every day.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And the firm belief you have that honestly, 99% of the people that are listening to this would disagree with, is that a person can become an artist through practice. And you believe that you are becoming a better and better artist every day because you practice so much.
Yes.
And we know you practice so much because you put it all up on social media.
Yeah.
Okay? So you get to write down the first way that you are hypnotizing yourself.
Okay, great.
Okay, and so now you need a pen, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I usually carry a pen. Oh, there's a pen.
There's a pen. Okay. So hypnosis point number one: a firm belief that practice will make you.
Yeah, definitely practice. Like you've heard the saying, "Practice makes perfect."
Well, yes, I've heard that. that's true. But yeah, I believe that practice makes.
Let's just say I'll say practice plus determination.
Mm-hmm.
Because
but the point is, this is a belief.
It is.
This is a firmly held belief, and you can pick it by the way you speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this is not coming from your conscious mind. This is deep down inside you.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's hypnotizing yourself. Every day.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me about being an artist.
Being an artist is a whirlwind.
Oh.
You get caught up in, like, if you're doing it for someone else, like you are a paid artist, you can always put yourself into it. But if you're just doing it for self-expression, which is what I do it for, you go through a lot of emotion, and those emotions can take you places. And when you have, I guess, when you're working on a piece or you've completed a piece, because sometimes you're just in the zone and you don't really know what you're doing until it's all over,
right.
you can look back and go, holy shit, did I just do that? What the hell? And sometimes you don't know until maybe really later on that your subconscious was telling you something, and it because maybe the colors you used or the strokes that you used. When you're in the zone, you don't think, your subconscious kind of takes over. And by the end of it, you're like, oh God, what just happened? And then
when you're in the zone, you don't think, your subconscious kind of takes over.
Yeah, because like I feel like you've connected to something really deep within you, and that when you are connecting that something inside you to a physical, it's, I don't know, it's like some form of magic happens and time just changes. But yeah, that's typically what a lot of mine have been, is something's happened or I've had a feeling and I'm like, I have to do this. Like I have to put this down or I'm going to lose this emotion. And there's so many different emotions that you go through as an artist, especially when you're painting or sculpting or doing something. And I think that's where the whirlwind comes from, because you never really know what is going to really inspire you. And sometimes it's a negative emotion and sometimes it's a positive emotion. It's it's filled with ups and downs.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, so with the people that you wander around, the people you meet, the people you talk to, you've just described something that I'm not sure if I would classify it as foreign. I'm wondering if it's something that I feel, this total and complete involvement in what you're doing.
Yep.
And though I guess I could reach out and possibly find places in my life where I've done that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's something different to most people.
Yeah, well, I think when anyone gets that, I don't know, it feels like you're being pulled towards something. Have you ever had that sort of feeling before?
I honestly, yes, but in the same breath, it's not something I'd admit to people generally. Okay? Because I feel a little bit weird. It doesn't feel...
Yeah, fair enough.
I feel like it's not the social norm. It's not something that most people have.
Yeah.
that most people get.
Okay.
And in saying that, I consider myself a creative.
Yeah.
Couldn't paint for the life of me, but I do stuff.
Yeah, of course. You do things in your own creative way.
Yeah.
Everyone does.
Okay. Fair enough. Right. Where did we go from there? What did?
I can tell you, being an artist pretty much my whole life has taken me places and has really benefited me emotionally. It really got me through some really hard times in my life because I found
Tell me about one of those.
Well, when I was in high school, one of the things we had to do was sculpture, and we got to do anything we wanted. So it was like, oh shit, well, what am I going to do? So I started carving this figure, and he was crouched over and his ribs were cut out, and he was crying because his hands were in his face, and he had big giant copper wings that I had sculpted as well that curled around his body, and he was on a pedestal that was I had made it out of plaster and cloth and painted it so it looked like a river of tears that he was sitting in.
Right.
And at the time, I didn't really know what it meant until I guess maybe like later, and I don't know whether it was months or years later, but I think it had a lot to do with me feeling like I was powerful like angels typically are, and that this sadness had really brought me down, and I was just going through a hard period. And I think when you're a teenager, you go through a really hard period because you're transitioning into adulthood and things just don't seem to make sense anymore. And I guess that's what was going on, is I was having all these really raw emotions, and that was how I processed it, was through that particular piece. And the cool thing is I got a minus on that, and my teacher approached me and said, we can't, well, we want to give you an A, but it's too controversial what you're doing. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then, get this, after that, the school spent their entire budget. They got all the teachers together, they got their entire budget, and they bought every single art piece I had done that year and put it on display for everyone afterwards. I'm like, if that's an A minus, I'll take it.
Yeah.
You know, okay. I don't know any other A minus students who at our school buy their entire art collection.
Okay,
so, but it's still like, I think it was more about art for me is processing emotion. It really helps me process what I'm going through, because once it's out there and I've turned those emotions into something physical, I can start to translate what I'm actually thinking.
Okay, stop right there. Once I've done that and I transfer those emotions into something physical, okay, that is classic hypnosis. Please write that down. That's number 2. You transfer your emotions into something physical. I'd write them down, except that could be a dangerous thing.
That's okay.
This is actually a nice spot you've brought me to.
It's nice,
today,
isn't it? Yeah.
The Daisy Hill Forest.
It's great. It's beautiful. I looked it up before you came in because you said we should go somewhere like
the Australian-y. Because this is the...
It's the bush.
Yeah, and this is Outback Hypnosis. And look at what we're driving in.
And there's some horses up here. Ready, guys? I'll quickly check this out. I don't know. Can you see that?
Yeah, they don't really look like they are.
I don't know if you saw that. Sorry.
Okay, shall we go again?
Yeah,
we'll go again.
Let's just keep going around.
Okay, cool. Okay, so where were we? You were taking these emotions, you're turning them into something real.
Yep.
And then what?
And then once it's been done, it's like a weight gets lifted off your shoulders because it's done. You've processed it. It's out there. It's done. Like ever since I've been doing art and have put it out there so I can kind of roughly understand what I'm going through emotionally. And it yeah, it feels like I've released something.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah, pretty much how it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, it looks like we've found ourselves a bad place. Reception-wise.
Yeah, yeah. I'll
The...
finish and start a new one on mine.
Why not? Oh, I love staffies.
I know.
Just driving past
gorgeous.
a little Staffordshire Bull Terrier, and they're a sensational little animal. Okay. So you see, what I'm hearing, this way you're diving in to your artwork, seems to me that there must be a passion there. Is that passion something that was born within you? Or is that something that someone else, like me, could...
I think if you want to express yourself, you can definitely use art to do that.
Right.
And I don't think you need to be born with it. There's so many people who I've heard who claim not to be artists, but when they start practicing art, and it's called a practice, just like being a doctor, because you practice it and you get good at it. And
do you call it practicing art?
yeah, of course.
I've always called it, well, creating is what I've called it.
Yeah, and it's
where doctors
both.
don't create. Okay, and we probably shouldn't
true.
go there. I'm not a big doctor lover.
Fair enough. Fair
Okay?
enough.
But okay, so it's practicing art.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the more that I practice, like I'm constantly learning and changing in my art too. I've noticed so many changes in the way that I paint and the way that I do things as well. So it's always a practice, and at the end of something I go, oh, I like how I did that, and then I will take that one thing that I like out of one painting and then use that for an entire new painting.
Yep.
I just find it really that it is, you're constantly learning as well as expressing yourself at the same time. Constantly
learning.
Yeah.
So I consider myself a lifelong learner.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the same thing?
Yeah, totally. It's exactly like life. It's exactly like that. It's just another aspect of it. Like, we all learn every day, and we all grow every day.
I'm not sure that's true.
Really?
No, I'm not.
I think
there are many people that stop learning. I think the majority of people stop learning, and aren't interested in learning anything more. And I think we run across them all the time.
I think a lot of, and I'm not saying you're wrong at all, but
Right.
I'll share my opinion.
Yeah, cool.
I think that the people who may be standing still or stuck, that they're not, I don't believe that they've stopped learning. I just believe that they're stuck or they're frustrated and they don't know how to move forward. And I do believe that those moments in life teach us the most valuable lessons. I really do.
Say that again.
When someone's feeling really stuck or frustrated or angry, I believe that it's because they don't know how to move forward, and that those times in your life are the most valuable lessons you'll ever learn.
Okay.
That's what I believe, and I believe that because I've been through those tough times, and I've taught me amazing things.
Yeah, okay, that's a fair point, and you've learned some amazing things, and you've gone on to create some incredible artwork. But I'm not so much thinking about the people that you hang with. I'm thinking more of the people who get up and go to work every day.
Yep.
Come home every night.
Yep.
Have a few beers.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the footy.
Yep.
Head off to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Get up the next day.
Yeah.
Do the same thing.
Yeah.
That's where I'm not thinking they're stuck. I think they're happy with their lot. And you and I might be the ones that are having the problem because we're wanting to grow and get bigger and
maybe to
create.
them, yeah, we are we are seen as a problem to them or a threat to their safety or something like that. It's hard to tell because everyone's got their own motivations, and there was a time when I was very comfortable, and you don't.
So you think that's a rut that you fell into, and that most people fall into?
Yeah, I think, maybe you don't learn, or maybe you don't grow in those periods, because, that's typically why a lot of people feel pain, is because they're not growing enough, or they want to grow but they can't. And I think the aha moments for people come once they make a decision to grow, or once they make a decision to change. I don't know for sure if people ever stop learning, though. I don't know if that is something I agree with, because I believe everything in life is a lesson if you look at it the right way.
Okay.
And maybe they're not looking at it the right way.
There's number 3. Write that down. I believe everything in life is a lesson if you're looking at it the right way.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's number 3. So they're things that the way you say them with such conviction, it's easy to tell that they're coming from way deep down inside. They are true, firm beliefs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's exciting.
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, you're doing things differently.
Yeah.
And I'm amazed that you truly believe that anyone can become an artist, and I'm loving that thought. So let's just. I'm going to turn it over to you for a sec.
Okay, sure.
Is there something that you'd like to get off your chest?
Something that I'd like
in our chat today. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, talking about my journey, I think for the start period of my life has been a journey, and in contrast to where I am now, it was probably a very important part of my life, and I recently have been starting to learn that, because I used to be very much a perfectionist, and
funny that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I've started to let that perfectionism go recently, and I started discovering that I have tried and failed a number of times to get where I am right now. And
sorry, where are you right now?
So where I am right now is I'm fully 110% committed to teaching people how to connect with colour.
How to connect with colour?
Yeah.
Okay.
How they can use colour to increase their mood, their happiness, their productivity, and their creativity.
Okay, I've got to ask this question.
Yeah, so
look straight up and tell me, am I doing a good or a bad thing here?
I love it. It is so on brand for you.
So I haven't done a bad thing.
No,
good.
I love it. It's perfect. I love the orange. Orange is one of my favorite colors. In fact, it's my favorite color. And that's one thing I love finding out from people is I'll always ask, so what's your favorite color? Or do you have more than one favorite? And it always seems to take people back to their childhood.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh. Well, okay, so it does. Because my favourite colour is purple.
There you go.
And I tell people that that's because purple is the colour of, well, primarily hypnosis. Mm-hmm. But it's also the colour of, well, it's royalty, but of affluence.
Yes.
But when I was in grade 3, my favourite pair of shorts were purple, and my favourite bowl was purple.
Yes.
And when we were on holidays, down the coast, my bowl floated away when the tide came in, and it's out there in the middle of the water. And these big kids started throwing stones at it, and they sunk my purple bowl. And then we never. It's traumatic. It's taking me back to, that was really a traumatic time of my life.
So do you still like purple? Is purple still a favourite for you?
Purple is definitely still a favourite.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's true though. Like, when you think about your favorite color, you revert back to your younger days or your past and go, I really like that color. And it's because I think as children, we're so we don't have that adult brain telling us yet that we can and can't like something. We just know what we like, and we know what we don't like. And I call it rediscovering your favorite color. People go, oh my god, yeah, I do love that color, and it's incredible. And I love talking to people about it because you get that connection with people as well, because it uplifts you. Yep. Just talking about your favorite color makes you feel good.
Yes. Well, we rewind this just a minute, and we were actually cracking up laughing talking about my favorite color. Yes. Yeah. No, that's cool.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah. Now I'm turning this into a business.
Right.
And I'm teaching people how to use color to support themselves emotionally, and to brand themselves better.
So sort of like a meditation type technique or something like that?
Yeah, you could definitely call it that, because you have to really get quiet, and you have to block out all externals so that you can focus and have a connection to each color and understand what that color means to you.
Yep.
So, like, as an example, I was working with a customer, I think a night ago or a couple nights ago, and I was just holding up, like I hold up color cards so that they can have a visualization of the color.
Okay.
And they were saying, oh, this one reminds me of my kid, and this one reminds me of me being with my kid, and this one reminds me of this, and this color reminds me of that. And so we put all those colors together, and we figured out which color was the most dominant color, the one that's actually going to benefit them the most. And then once we did that, you should have seen the face. Like, it just lit up like you wouldn't believe. It's so hard to explain that emotion, feeling.
The change that
you just see it in their face, that they are instantly lifted. They instantly feel good. And that's what I've been teaching people, and I can see it's changing lives. They message me days afterwards and say, hey, I went and got those colors we spoke about and I feel amazing. Or I've started painting again, and it's incredible what color can do for people. It astonishes me every single time. And the same goes for when I work with people on their brand, or if they want to rebrand because they feel like their brand colors aren't correct.
Yep.
And same sort of thing. Once you get the brand colors, it's the same thing. The face lights up, they get super excited, but they're connected to their colors more as well.
Cool.
They understand what the colors are doing for them.
Yep.
And then they can make conscious decisions how to use those colors in the right places so that they can take control more so of their emotions. And it's astounding.
Okay.
It's astounding. I know I've stumbled onto something really special.
It is sounding very exciting.
Yeah.
But there you go. So look, as we start to run into the end of this little chat, let's talk quickly. Let's list those 3 things that I believe you're doing.
Okay.
That is hypnotizing yourself every day.
Sure.
Okay.
So the first thing I wrote down was practice and determination.
Which was you saying that you can become an artist.
Yes.
With practice and determination.
And I think you can become anything with practice and determination.
Okay.
If you want to be a singer, a songwriter, an artist, a philanthropist.
Yep.
If you practice and have enough determination, you can get there.
Okay.
No question about it.
Number 2.
Number 2 is transfer emotions into physical.
That's purely hypnotic.
Yeah.
You actually take your emotions and you do it through the artist's brush, and you move them outside your body.
Yeah.
And you make them physical, and that's exactly what they are.
Yeah, and
that's
it's just
so
like
cool.
People who write books.
Yep.
They transfer the internal into something external. Or an architect might build a new sort of building. It's it's about getting the inside and putting it outside. Turning it into something more than just a thought. And the third thing is I believe everything is a lesson if you look at it from the right way.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So you believe in learning. You
Oh,
believe in
totally.
learning something new every day.
Totally.
Totally. So cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the last thing I'll ask is, who do you know, someone pretty special, someone that you can see is hypnotising themselves every day, that you think should come on this show with me?
I think Lisa Burdett.
Lisa Burdett.
Yep.
Okay.
Excellent. Yeah. I've seen something special in her, and I know she's just doing so well right now.
Right.
And I feel very in tune with her as well, so I think that there's definitely something there. And that's just one person, but Lisa is probably one of the people that comes to mind.
Thank you.
I could rattle off a few more, but I really think Lisa would be a really good...
We'll get in touch with Lisa.
Definitely.
We'll see if she wants to come Smartie treating.
Yeah.
Mate, thank you. I've had a great time.
Likewise.
You lighten the car up. You really do.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Awesome.